Meet Tanaka, a guy so lazy, if laziness was an Olympic sport, he wouldn't even show up. This man is not low energy, he's on permanent power-saving mode. Like bro isn't living life, he's buffering it. And then there's his best friend Oda, who didn't sign up for this, but somehow became a full-time human forklift. My guy literally carries Tanaka to class like Amazon Prime delivery. Tanaka can't even finish a text message. Not because he's busy, but because his brain said, that's enough productivity for today. Even teachers gave up on him. By the time Tanaka reacts, the next period already started. Skull. After class, Oda politely asks him to at least take out his textbook, not to study, just to confirm it still exists. Tanaka doesn't move. Bro is sitting there shaking like a phone on 1% battery. Oda touches him and realizes something terrifying. This dude's arms are completely numb. And Tanaka's like, yeah, that happens, slightly smiling face. Excuse me? If he sleeps face down, arms dead. If he leans on the window, he headbutts it like a confused NPC. If he rests his chin too long, his joints file a complaint to HR. At this point, this isn't laziness, this is a health hazard. Bro is one nap away from hospitalization. Then suddenly, in gym class, something illegal happens. Tanaka is motivated. Oda almost calls an exorcist. Turns out, Tanaka wants to build muscles, not to get strong, but so he can be lazy more efficiently. Loudly crying face. Bro said, I want gains, for better doing nothing. Warm-up starts. After 2 reps, his back starts crying. 2 more reps, his arms quit the job. Tanaka immediately decides, yeah, fresh air sounds better. Workout equals cancelled. Skull. Later they play badminton. Oda is playing like his entire bloodline depends on it. Tanaka gets inspired, tries one powerful shot, and his racket flies out of his hand like it's escaping responsibility. Skull almost deletes someone from existence. Everyone instantly realizes, this man is a public safety risk. They bench him immediately. Loudly crying face. Now Oda is playing solo, carrying the match and Tanaka's life choices. Meanwhile Tanaka is just sitting there, calculating how Oda's hard work can somehow improve his grades. Yeah, bro is delusional. Suddenly, Tanaka gets an idea. Meanwhile Oda smashes the shuttle so hard it leaves the gym. They go to get another one. Box is empty. Why? Because Tanaka uses shuttlecocks as pillows. Yeah, sports equipment? Nah, sleep accessories. They find him sleeping peacefully like a retired grandpa. And instead of waking him up, they decide it's easier to go find the lost shuttlecock another day. Oda notices Tanaka sitting in a weird pose. Bro is holding his own face like it might fall off. A classmate asks Tanaka for help carrying papers. Tanaka stands up, still holding his face. Oda's like, bro, your hands are stuck. Tanaka still helps, by lifting one corner of the papers. Minimum effort equals maximum satisfaction. Skull. When they say wrong papers, Tanaka goes, you said help, I help. This guy would win arguments just by being useless. Of course, Oda ends up doing all the work anyway. Later, they go drink water, and Tanaka just lets the tap run on his face, like he's a museum exhibit. At this point, Oda realizes, Tanaka isn't just lazy, he's a whole different species and somehow, you are still more unproductive than him. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Loudly crying face. At lunch, Oda offers Tanaka some food. Tanaka says no. His stomach immediately goes, liar. Loud growl. Oda tries to feed him one bite, but Tanaka still refuses. Bro would rather starve than put in effort. That's not laziness, that's commitment. Later in music class, Tanaka is on piano duty. At first it's normal, then suddenly it turns into a horror movie soundtrack. Like bro is summoning something. Loudly crying face. The teacher walks over, notices something on his cheek, she leans closer, and Tanaka screams like a jump scare NPC. Teacher instantly apologizes and backs off like she triggered a boss fight. Meanwhile Oda and friends start whispering like detectives. One genius goes, guys, I think Tanaka is in love. Bro what? Loudly crying face. After school, Oda finds Tanaka sitting there looking depressed. He feels bad, like, damn, I've been a terrible friend. So he offers him ice cream. Tanaka stands up, trips over his own bag, and drops everything. Oda picks up his notebook, and finds reminder note saying, go to the dentist. Yeah, mystery solved. This man is not in love, his tooth is fighting for survival. Oda immediately grabs him and drags him to the dentist like a responsible older brother. After treatment, Tanaka looks annoyed. So Oda finally asks, are you in love? Tanaka, no. Instant. No hesitation. No emotion. Case closed. Next day, someone suddenly shouts, I want to be Tanaka's apprentice. Everyone looks around. No one there. Then suddenly, a tiny girl starts jumping like, hello? I'm down here. Loudly crying face. She introduces herself as Emo, and says she wants to become Tanaka's apprentice. Bro, apprentice of what? Professional laziness? Tanaka immediately rejects her, but Emo doesn't care. She's like, I want to learn how to be calm and listless like you. Oda is confused. You are confused. Even Tanaka is confused. Tanaka tries to refuse politely. Emo says, I can handle any training. Training? This man barely handles walking. Tanaka escalates. I don't want anything disturbing my peaceful life. I don't want new characters in my anime. Loudly crying face. Emo hits him with logic. I'll just act like an old friend. Bro, what kind of loophole is that? Oda tells her to give up, but suddenly Tanaka stops him and agrees. Oda is like, wow, he's grown so much. Meanwhile Tanaka, rejecting her takes more effort. Yeah, bro chose the lazy option. Loudly crying face. Tanaka explains, I have nothing to teach. Just observe and figure it out yourself. That's not teaching, that's YouTube tutorial energy. Emo agrees way too seriously. Tanaka reminds her, laziness means not trying hard. Emo, got it. I'll try my hardest to not try hard. We lost her already loudly crying face. During class, Emo starts intensely staring at Tanaka, like she's doing PhD research on laziness, and just like that, Tanaka's peaceful life starts cracking. Emo begins her training arc. Step 1, sleepy eyes. Instead, she looks like she's about to curse someone's entire bloodline. Teacher makes eye contact and instantly gets scared. Yeah, step 1 failed skull. Step 2, relax your body. She relaxes too much. Now she looks like a corpse that forgot to lie down properly. Teacher panics again and sends her straight to the nurse. At this point, Tanaka didn't get an apprentice. He unlocked a problem and somehow, you're still less productive than both of them. Loudly crying face. Later, Oda pulls up like a proud salesman. Look what I got. A donut coupon. Bro acting like he just unlocked a legendary item skull. Meanwhile, Emo is still following Tanaka around, like he's some rare Pokemon. Observe, the wild lazy creature in its natural habitat. Loudly crying face. This time, Emo decides, I will become a quiet, mature woman. Yeah, good luck with that. Oda invites her along to the donut shop. Requirement? 3 people. Emo on the outside, sure, I'll come. Emo on the inside, oh my god, donuts, let's go. Loudly crying face. If she had a tail, it would be wagging at max speed. Skull. Another plan, another failure. During break, Emo sees Tanaka buying green tea. She loves strawberry milk, but her brain goes, adults don't drink childish things. So she forces herself to buy green tea. Congratulations, you played yourself. Skull. Oda sees this and goes, nice choice. Then immediately buys strawberry milk. Yeah, her entire belief system just collapsed. Emo starts crying, internally, externally, spiritually. Oda drags her to Tanaka like, fix this, and explains, she's crying because she gave up strawberry milk. Tanaka, this is serious. Bro finally cares, so what does he do? He buys strawberry milk and drinks it himself. With the face of a man drinking medicine, Emo's brain just crashes. System error. She runs away emotionally overloaded. Loudly crying face. Later, she sits alone, feeling like a complete failure. No talent for laziness. Yeah, imagine failing at doing nothing, but she refuses to give up. So what does she do? Goes to the library, does full research, and writes a whole report on laziness. Bro, this is the least lazy thing ever. After school, she proudly presents it to Tanaka. Tanaka reads 1 page and says, you're not suited for being lazy. Emotional damage. Skull. Reason? You're a hard worker. Yeah, biggest insult in Tanaka's world. Loudly crying face. He explains, I would never even make a report. That hit harder than any roast. From the start, she never had a chance to reach his professional laziness level. Skull. Emo gets completely crushed. So Tanaka, somehow, gives actual good advice? He tells her, being hardworking is your strength. You don't need to become like me. Wait, who is this guy? Loudly crying face. Emo finally admits the truth. There's someone she likes, and she wants to be a better match for him. Even if she seems childish, she wants to be mature inside. Tanaka asks, does he not like you as you are? She says no, he's actually a good guy. Tanaka then drops a line so real, it doesn't belong in this anime. Skull. If someone accepts you, why torture yourself trying to change? Standing on tiptoes makes you look taller, but only for 3 seconds. Damn, bro became a life coach. Oda immediately tries to stop him like, ayo, this is too deep for a lazy anime. After this emotional therapy session, they finally go to the donut shop. Next day, Tanaka and Oda are late for class. They start running. Well, running. This is their max speed, and it's still disappointing. Skull. Right before reaching, they slam into a wall. Yeah, full NPC behavior. Loudly crying face. They almost crash into a girl too, but Oda barely dodges. Tanaka asks, who's that? Oda says, that's the class president, Shiraishi. And just like that, a new problem has entered the chat. Also, you still wouldn't survive 1 day in this school. Loudly crying face. Unfortunately, the moment Tanaka and Oda bump into her, the rugby squad spawns out of nowhere. Skull. These guys surround them like, you touched our goddess. Bro, they acting like bodyguards in a fantasy anime. Loudly crying face. Things are about to go violent, but then Shiraishi calmly steps in. She gently touches one guy, because he's standing on her paper, and suddenly, all the rugby boys run away. Instantly, like vampires seeing sunlight. Skull. Bro got touched and said, yeah, I need to rethink my life. Loudly crying face. Shiraishi starts picking up her papers. Tanaka and Oda help. She says, it's not your fault. Tanaka, no, you saved us. Bro is acting like she just defeated a boss. He calls the rugby team savage beasts and says she saved their lives with 1 touch. Then Tanaka and Oda compare themselves to water fleas. Yeah, that's their self-esteem level. Shiraishi is slightly confused, but lets them help anyway. On the way to the copy room, they realize she's super popular. Tanaka immediately covers his head with his jacket like, please don't perceive me. Skull. He says he hates attention, but really, he just fears everything inside the copy room. Oda notices an error in the documents. Shiraishi calmly says, guess we recheck and print everything again. No panic. No drama. Just pure responsible human behavior. Oda is amazed watching her use the computer. Because this man only uses PCs for internet browsing, he compliments her like she just hacked NASA. Then Tanaka jumps in like, I also know a great use for laptops. They're impressed, for 1 second. Tanaka, you can use them as bulletproof shields. Oda immediately shuts that down. Never listen to this man for survival advice. Shiraishi continues her office ritual, print stack arrange staple. Normal tasks. Meanwhile Tanaka, warm paper, soft, pillow? Bro is about to sleep on official documents. Shiraishi stacks the pages. Oda checks everything. Tanaka requests the least effort job possible. So they give him stapling duty. Yeah, perfect job for someone barely conscious. Loudly crying face. After a while, Shiraishi brings out homemade macarons. Instant respect plus 100. Tanaka and Oda take one bite and immediately start praising her. Tanaka sounds like he might pass out mid-sentence, then the sugar hits, but in the worst way. Instead of energy, Tanaka starts shutting down. System going offline. Oda tries to wake him, but bro is at that dangerous stage, snack-induced coma. Loudly crying face. Seeing this, Shiraishi gently says, you guys can leave, I'll finish the rest. Oda is shocked, starts praising her like a YouTube comment section skull. You're so responsible, so kind, and you make macarons? Bro repeats the macaron part so much. Shiraishi is like, so I'm just the macaron girl now? Loudly crying face. Her entire personality equals dessert skull. So Oda carries Tanaka away, apologizing nonstop. The moment they leave, Shiraishi finally relaxes. She removes her contacts, ties her hair normally, drops the perfect girl act. This is the real her. Back in middle school, she had no friends. People called her boring, serious, invisible. So in high school, she created a whole new version of herself. Cute, popular, perfect. Yeah, everyone in this anime is struggling, and you thought your life was complicated skull. So yeah, Shiraishi created this whole trendy, perfect girl persona, and it worked instantly. Popularity? Heavy checkmark friends? Heavy checkmark inner peace? Absolutely not skull, because this whole act is exhausting. Contacts hurting her eyes, fake smiling draining her soul, and the moment she's alone, glasses on, hair down. Finally, she can breathe. Yeah, double life unlocked. Loudly crying face. She's actually relieved Tanaka and Oda left early, so she can drop the act, but then, they come back skull and see her real form. Her heart, yeah, I'm done. Loudly crying face. Next morning, she's already imagining rumors spreading like Twitter drama. Shiraishi is fake. She's not even trendy. Meanwhile reality, nobody cares. Her classmates greet her normally, and even say, you look pretty today. She's confused like, wait, I'm not cancelled? Then she greets Tanaka and Oda, and Tanaka casually says, are you always this shiny? Even when you're alone? Bro just pressed the self-destruct button. Now she's in full paranoia mode. Convinced they'll expose her secret, so she starts following them. Everywhere. Like a low-budget spy, she even follows them toward the washroom. Tanaka gently goes, yeah, maybe don't do that. Loudly crying face. At lunch, she's exhausted, but relieved she survived half the day. Then she overhears Oda saying, when I came back yesterday, she was already gone. Meaning, her secret is safe. Skull instant relief. Her friends keep praising her and she's like, yes, the image is intact. Later, in the girls' washroom, she looks in the mirror, realizes she looks like two completely different people, and suddenly gets a crazy idea. What if I just become someone else entirely? Skull. So she tests it, walks past two classmates. They completely ignore her. She's so happy, she starts hopping like a rabbit. Loudly crying face. Bro unlocked invisibility and got excited. Skull. Feeling confident, she walks past Tanaka and Oda next, and instantly, Tanaka calls her name. GG. Plan failed in 5 seconds. Loudly crying face. Realizing there's no escape, she confesses everything. The popular Shiraishi? That's her ideal version. The real her? Plain, boring, lonely. She just wanted to shine, even if it meant exhausting herself. Then she says, you can laugh if you want, Tanaka, you're too erotic. Everyone freezes. Skull. Tanaka instantly, I meant admirable. Loudly crying face. Bro almost ended the anime right there. Skull. He explains, she's admirable because she works hard, not just for herself, but for others. Meanwhile him? Yeah, I contribute nothing to society. At least he's self-aware. Loudly crying face. He tells her to believe in herself more. And somehow, this lazy NPC just gave peak life advice. Skull. Shiraishi is genuinely happy. She thanks them, and asks them to keep her secret. They agree, also because nobody would believe them anyway. Loudly crying face. As they leave, Tanaka says something surprisingly deep. I'm glad even you have weaknesses. Something too perfect would be hard to approach. Damn, bro cooking again. Skull. Next day, Shiraishi shows up with glasses. And guess what? Nobody cares. In fact, her friends go, yeah, contacts hurt. That's it. Loudly crying face. All that stress, for nothing. Skull. Now she's wondering, how did Tanaka recognize me? Oda asks the same thing. Tanaka says, looks can lie, but her eyes can't. Oda immediately, never say that out loud again. Loudly crying face. Because bro almost rizzed her accidentally. Skull. Later, rooftop lunch, peaceful moment. Door suddenly slams open, a girl walks in like, I challenge you to a duel. Tanaka instantly, Oda, switch with me. Bro said not my problem. Loudly crying face. And just like that, another chaotic character enters the story. Skull. Meanwhile, you still can't even handle one personality. Loudly crying face. So this girl storms in like it's a boss fight. And Tanaka's like, yeah, Oda, you handle this, skull absolute coward energy loudly crying face turns out. She's not some random villain, she's Oda's neighbor and childhood friend, Ekison, aka Echin. The moment Oda says, Echin, she gets triggered instantly skull, don't call me that. Yeah, childhood nicknames are permanent trauma loudly crying face Tanaka looks at her and goes, she doesn't seem that bad. Bro she literally challenged you to a duel loudly crying face he asks why she wants to fight, she dodges the question like a pro. Just need to test what kind of guy you are. Yeah. Tanaka's peaceful rooftop lunch? Deleted. Skull. She gives a full dramatic speech, and Tanaka calmly replies, there won't be a battle. Because I'll lose anyway. Bro gave up before starting loudly crying face no confidence. No motivation. Just vibe skull. Instead of getting angry, Ekison starts feeling bad for him loudly crying face, please, at least try. Imagine being so lazy people pity you skull she suggests games, sports, cards, anything. They settle on a board game. They play. Ekison wins easily. She's like, wow, you're terrible. Tanaka? Completely satisfied. Bro lost and still happy loudly crying face. Everyone confused. Then Tanaka reveals, he used the white pieces, to spell the word white. This somehow impresses Oda. Ekison feels like she lost, even though she literally won worst victory of her life loudly crying face. Just as she's questioning reality, her stomach growls. Loud. Skull Oda offers her food. A cute bunny-shaped bread rabbit face big mistake. She gets offended instantly. You think I'd eat something this cute? Only a demon would eat a rabbit's face. So she chooses, starvation loudly crying face. Pride survival skull. She challenges Tanaka again, this time cards. Tanaka starts shuffling, and suddenly, he looks kinda cool? Flushed face everyone impressed. Then he does it again, and a gust of wind sends all the cards flying skull back to NPC behavior loudly crying face. Now everyone is crawling on the ground, collecting cards like their life depends on its skull while doing this. Tanaka notices Ekison struggling because of her long skirt. He casually says, why not shorten it? Big mistake skull she gets furious. That skirt is my identity. Oda tries to help like, it looks trendy. Ekison, no, it represents my respect for female gang leaders. Fashion just became philosophy loudly crying face nobody wins skull. After collecting cards, they realize one card is still missing. Game ruined. Ekison gets even more mad. Then she starts ranting, my friend respects you? I thought you'd be some strong, cool guy, but you're just a lazy loser. Finally, someone said at skull she's angry because her friend wants to be like Tanaka. And she's like, if she follows you, she'll become weak. Tanaka calmly replies, I don't remember doing anything worth respect. At least he's honest loudly crying face then suddenly, Emo appears. Hi Tanaka, smiling face with smiling eyes the moment Ekison sees her, instant personality switch skull she runs over, picks Emo up, starts spinning her like a proud big sister loudly crying face bro went from gangster mode wholesome mode in 0.2 seconds skull. Tanaka and Oda realize, wait, this is the precious friend she was talking about? Yeah, everything just connected loudly crying face and now? Tanaka's influence is officially a problem skull. Meanwhile you, still don't even influence your own life loudly crying face Ekison asks Emo what she's doing here. And Emo casually says, I followed your smell. Bro what loudly crying face she tracked her like a bloodhound skull Tanaka immediately tells Ekison, don't worry, Emo has zero talent for laziness. Ekison agrees, yeah, she's way too hardworking. And then, immediately grabs Tanaka and starts choking him skull, how dare you say that about her? Yeah, welcome to Ekison law loudly crying face Emo asks what's going on. Ekison proudly says, I was fighting him. He's terrible at everything. Not even worth my time. Damn skull. But Emo? She jumps in like a loyal fan. Tanaka is amazing. You just haven't seen his true power yet. What power? Loudly crying face. Now Ekison is even more angry. She thinks Tanaka was holding back. Meanwhile Tanaka, I regret everything. Skull especially accepting Emo as an apprentice loudly crying face. Another day. Tanaka checks his phone. Reminder, go to supermarket. He asks Oda to come with him. Oda, oh, you need help carrying stuff? Tanaka, no, I forgot what I need to buy. Bro they walk together. Tanaka finally remembers, his little sister asked him to buy something. Oda is shocked. You have a sister? Yeah, even Tanaka has lore skull Oda says he also has a younger sister. Tanaka imagines her as, a female version of Oda, and immediately feels bad for her existence loudly crying face violation skull Tanaka says his own sister looks exactly like him. Same face, same personality. So basically, there are two Tanakas in one house skull. Oda, that house must be a disaster. Tanaka, don't treat us like garbage. At the supermarket, Tanaka still can't remember what to buy. So his genius plan is, let's walk around until I remember. Yeah, peak strategy skull he starts thinking. Okay, it's definitely not frozen food. Because by the time he walks home, it would become soup loudly crying face. Bro moves at continental drift speed skull heavy items? Also no. Because Tanaka lifting anything is a myth loudly crying face Oda starts showing random items. Even explains chicken like he's giving a TED Talk skull. People nearby are impressed like, wow, husband material loudly crying face then Oda casually grabs a big pack from the top shelf. And suddenly, all the Andes in the store, interesting eyes, yeah. Oda just became premium husband stock skull. Meanwhile Tanaka is panicking internally. Because Oda is basically his only support system and now the entire supermarket is trying to recruit him skull competition emotion rising, chart increasing. Then suddenly, Tanaka remembers something. He set another reminder. Finally, progress. He checks his phone. It says, just P skull bro got tired mid-typing loudly crying face mystery level, maximum skull. After wandering forever, Tanaka gives up. Ultimate plan, I'll just tell my sister it was sold out. Classic lazy strategy loudly crying face. Then he says, let's just buy something that starts with P. Yeah, this is not how shopping works skull. Meanwhile you, still forget things even after writing full reminders loudly crying face. So Tanaka's genius plan was, buy things starting with P, and not heavy. Sounds smart. Until they end up with heavy bags anyway skull. Because logic left the chat loudly crying face, but it's fine. Oda exists. Personal bodybuilder plus delivery service Moai. They finally leave the store. And suddenly, pancake stall. Pancakes. Oda gets excited like a kid skull, and then Tanaka's brain finally loads. Wait, the stall is near school. Today is the last day of the sale? Reminder said, bro cracked the code loudly crying face. His sister basically planned this whole thing. Knowing her brother is so dumb, he'll still succeed by accident skull. They buy pancakes. Tanaka thanks Oda. Mission somehow complete loudly crying face. Next day in class, everyone notices a weird smell, like something died, and then came back skull. Oda asks, so, your sister liked the pancakes? Tanaka, about that. Turns out, she didn't ask for pancakes. She asked for a pipe cleaner. For the drain skull bro heard, and bought pancakes loudly crying face. Since Tanaka bought random nonsense, his sister cooked everything together, and this smell is the result skull chemical warfare in the classroom loudly crying face. Meanwhile, Ekizan keeps staring at them all day. Tanaka notices and goes, fighting is banned in the Tanaka kingdom. Bro created his own law loudly crying face. Ekizan says, I won't fight like before, I'm a girl now. Everyone shocked, including her skull. She gets embarrassed, and runs away loudly crying face. Later, she's thinking, Oda equals kind, reliable, treats her like a girl. Embarrassing level, max skull. Tanaka equals lazy, useless, doesn't treat her like a girl. And somehow, that makes her even more mad loudly crying face. Logic? Gone skull. She decides, I'll act more feminine. Yeah, new character arc unlocked loudly crying face, but emo stops her. And suddenly she starts thinking, what if I changed my name? What would I even be called? Emo, Oken. What kind of name is that loudly crying face combination of everything skull? They spot Tanaka. Ekizan asks, would it be better to be small like Emo? Emo instantly, and oh, you are amazing as you are. Tanaka agrees. And just like that, Ekizan gets emotionally healed. Later, she's replaying Tanaka's compliment in her head, gets distracted, almost trips. Oda saves her. She feels relieved, then instantly runs away, and falls down the stairs. Skull bro what loudly crying face. Oda tries to help, she refuses, so he carries her anyway. She throws a tantrum, falls again. Skull this girl is fighting gravity itself loudly crying face. Then suddenly, she accuses them, you told me to change my name. Oda, HUH? They start arguing. Tanaka remembers something, shows his notebook. He explains, I got tired mid-writing, and accidentally insulted your name. Classic Tanaka skull. He apologizes sincerely. Ekizan realizes, it was all a misunderstanding. Still beats him up anyway loudly crying face. Tanaka suggests a solution, let's just shorten your name. They decide on, Echin. She instantly blushes like crazy skull. Yeah, nickname trauma continues loudly crying face. Later one day, Tanaka comes back, and finds chocolate in his bag. Chocolate bar. Oda overhears girls talking. Give chocolate to your crush. And suddenly, everything connects. This is Valentine's chocolate. Skull. Tanaka immediately backs up, like the chocolate is a bomb loudly crying face romance? Too much effort skull. They just stand there, staring at the chocolate, realizing, this is the beginning of something dangerous loudly crying face. Meanwhile you, still haven't even received one chocolate skull. So now, something very weird is happening. There's chocolate, no names, creepy message, and both of them are like, yeah, let's pretend this isn't real. Skull neither wants to acknowledge it first loudly crying face. Tanaka finally says, even if I get Valentine's chocolate, I'd prefer it from someone with low presence. Please don't be mentally exhausting. Bro wants a low-maintenance girlfriend DLC loudly crying face. Then he flexes his biggest achievement. Back in middle school, all 30 classmates voted him least likely to return a gift on White Day. Undefeated record. This man is proudly irresponsible. Skull. Oda tells him, now that you got chocolate, maybe change? Tanaka, no, loudly crying face. Then Tanaka finds another chocolate. This one looks simple, clearly for Oda. Tanaka instantly, let's trade. Skull because his looks too serious, and Oda's looks safe loudly crying face. Oda agrees. Now both of them are confused, because both chocolates have no names. Only one message, I am always watching you. Bro, this is not Valentine's Day. Skull, this is a horror movie loudly crying face. A random classmate says hi. Tanaka immediately grabs him like, you did this? Skull, poor guy just wanted to greet loudly crying face. They calm down, start theorizing. Maybe it's Emo? Makes sense, she literally stalks Tanaka 24/7. Skull. They go to confirm, and see Emo loudly giving chocolate to Ekizan, while yelling, I forgot Tanaka and Oda. Theory dead loudly crying face. Now Tanaka starts overthinking hard. Maybe someone is watching us, manipulating us, laughing in the shadows. Bro turned this into a thriller. Skull. He decides, let's not eat it. Oda, only sane human, or, respect the person and try it? They finally open it, take a bite, and, it's actually amazing flushed face high quality chocolate. Skull. Tanaka, yeah, it's good. No emotion. Just facts. Loudly crying face. He admits he likes chocolate. But a girlfriend? Too much work. Bro prioritized survival. Skull. Oda eats his chocolate and gets sad. It's dark chocolate. Loudly crying face. Tanaka, feeling generous, shares his. Oda tastes it and instantly ascends. Loudly crying face. This is really good. Too good. Suspiciously good. Skull. Oda suddenly remembers. This tastes like Shiraishi sweets. Wait, plot twist? Flushed face. Oda tells Tanaka, set reminder for White Day. Yeah, redemption arc loading. Skull. But then, on the way home, they overhear Shiraishi saying, I've always been alone on Valentine's Day. System error. Skull. Both freeze. They were wrong again. Loudly crying face. Now Tanaka is fully disturbed. They just ate premium chocolate from an unknown person. Skull. Oda tries to calm him, but suddenly, a voice recorder falls out of Tanaka's bag. Bro, what? Loudly crying face. Now this is 100% a crime scene. Skull. Tanaka, I'm reporting this. Oda, relax. And then, a small voice from behind. Tanaka. Oda turns, sees her, and instantly covers Tanaka's eyes. Don't look, it's your doppelganger. Skull. The girl calmly says, I'm Rino, your little sister. Yeah. The final boss has arrived. Loudly crying face. And suddenly, everything starts making sense. Skull. So the mysterious girl turns out to be Rino, Tanaka's little sister. And the first thing she does? Thanks Oda for taking care of her useless brother. Skull. Respect plus 100 for Oda. Loudly crying face. Oda looks at them both, and his brain just crashes. Same face, same hair, same lazy aura. It's like copy-paste DLC. Skull. Tanaka introduces Oda like it's a formal meeting, even though he's already talked about him before. Rino asks, why do you both look like you've seen a ghost? Tanaka shows the voice recorder. Rino, oh, that's mine. Bro, this whole thriller was for nothing. Loudly crying face. She explains she uses it to record teachers, because they talk too fast. Oda, wow, that's smart. Rino, actually, I want them to hear themselves and fix it. Okay, that's Loki. Scary. Skull. She invites them home. Tanaka instantly agrees, because now Oda can carry him home daily like a taxi. Loudly crying face. Bro thinking long-term. Skull. They reach the house. Oda notices a pile of shoes. Rino, I was repairing them. Yeah, she's productive and dangerous. Skull. She gives Oda tea. Oda, can I get sugar? Rino stares into his soul. Tea is best, black. This is not tea. This is a test. Loudly crying face. She keeps staring while he drinks. Oda, yeah, it's good. Slightly smiling face. Lies. Skull. Meanwhile Tanaka is just lying down watching TV. Rino is cleaning, folding clothes, doing everything. She doesn't even notice him until he says, hey, I exist. Yeah, even his own sister forgets him. Loudly crying face. Later, Rino asks Oda about Tanaka's school life. Oda casually explains, I carry him, feed him, stay with him all day, basically, full-time caretaker. Skull. Rino immediately says, stop doing that. Leave him alone. Oda, isn't that kinda harsh? Rino, no. Skull. She tries to refill his cup. Black coffee this time. Oda instantly, and oh thank you. Bro learned his lesson. Skull. Tanaka pulls out the chocolate. They all eat it. Still don't know who gave it, but it's amazing. Tanaka, probably homemade. Rino, she looks suspiciously happy. Loudly crying face. Then Oda casually says, yeah, I ate more than half. Silence. Skull. Mystery solved. Instantly Rino snaps. Please leave. Oda, what did I do? Rino, it's getting dark. Dangerous. Get out. Oda politely thanks her, leaves with Tanaka. Door closes. Rino immediately goes, that coffee was terrible. She knows. Loudly crying face. And she's annoyed. Not because of the coffee, but because Oda kept praising her. Skull. Truth is, she didn't invite him out of kindness. She just wanted to hear about Tanaka's life. Instead, she got a whole documentary about Tanaka plus Oda friendship. Yeah, she's jealous. Loudly crying face. Meanwhile Tanaka? Completely clueless. Skull. Bro has zero awareness of emotions. Loudly crying face. Rino remembers the recorder, and plays it, hoping to hear about Tanaka's life. Instead, Tanaka's voice equals barely audible. Skull. Oda's voice equals loud and clear. So now, she dislikes Oda even more. And just like that, we end with, a lazy brother, an overpowered sister, a suffering best friend, and you, still watching instead of being productive. So after all that chaos? Tanaka casually says, yeah, I already know who gave the chocolate. Oda, wait, you do? Tanaka, it's obviously Rino. Confidence level, 100% accuracy level, 0% Skull. His logic? She probably made it for someone she likes, and gave me the leftovers. Bro got friendzoned in his own theory. Loudly crying face. He says the moment she looked relieved after he praised it. That confirmed everything. Oda, yeah, makes sense. Both of them are wrong. Another day. They walk past a fast food place. Oda sees a strawberry sundae and instantly, let's go. Tanaka, no, why? Because fast food places are too fast. Skull. Ordering is stressful. Standing there is a time trial. Bro gets anxiety from efficiency. Then suddenly Tanaka sees a poster. Lucky set, comes with a toy, and instantly goes, I love vacuum cleaners. I love anything that does work for me. Motivation unlocked. They go inside. The employee sees Tanaka, and thinks, yeah, this guy is gonna stare at the menu for 10 minutes. But Tanaka instantly orders, lucky set, toy number 4. Employee, character development. Skull. But then, sorry, number 4 is sold out. Tanaka immediately loses all interest. Downgrades to a strawberry shake. Skull. Employee hands it over, but senses danger. Yeah, this guy is definitely gonna spill it. So she brings it to his seat skull. Tanaka tries to drink the shake, nothing happens. He tries harder, still nothing. He gets tired. Bro lost to a straw loudly crying face. Meanwhile Oda drinking normally like a functional human skull. Employee accidentally makes eye contact, and panics. She thinks Tanaka is mad about the toy reality. He's fighting physics loudly crying face. Then Tanaka says, she's amazing. She passed an interview and works hard, meanwhile I can't even apply. At least he's self-aware. Oda agrees. Meanwhile the employee is like, these guys are dangerous. She goes to the staff room, starts overthinking hard. Tanaka is scary, Oda is even worse, he's probably in some secret organization. Bro what loudly crying face. She runs to the manager like, get toy number 4 or I'm dead, skull. Meanwhile Tanaka is just sitting there, observing people, talking, working, chilling, and suddenly realizes, this place is perfect. Nobody bothers you. You just exist. Bro found his paradise loudly crying face. Only problem? He still can't drink the shake. When they leave, they see the same employee outside. She freezes like, yeah, it's over, loudly crying face, but Tanaka just says, thanks for working hard. And Oda thanks her too. They leave peacefully. Employee, wait, they're actually nice people? Character development complete skull. Another day. Tanaka and Oda are just walking, but from the shadows, Shiraishi is watching. Yeah, new arc loading loudly crying face. Ever since her real self got exposed, she can't stop thinking about Tanaka. And slowly, a dangerous thought appears. Do I like him? She instantly rejects it. No, because falling for this guy? Yeah, that's the real problem skull. And just like that, we end with, a lazy genius who does nothing, yet somehow attracts everyone, a best friend carrying the entire story, and multiple girls slowly losing their sanity skull. Meanwhile you, still watching anime recaps instead of fixing your life loudly crying face. So now, Shiraishi is in a crisis. She might be in love, but her brain is like, girl, with this guy? Awkward, unfashionable, socially lagging. Yeah, romance doesn't match her build loudly crying face. Her friends notice something's off. They ask her what's wrong. She says, I think I'm in love. Her face? Looks like she just lost her wallet skull. Not love, financial damage still. Her friends are supportive. We got you. Meanwhile Shiraishi is like, I don't even got me skull. In class, she starts thinking, how do I even talk to Tanaka? Because since that incident, they haven't had a proper conversation. Then she realizes something terrifying. Oda is always there, 24/7, like a bodyguard DLC. So she decides, step 1, study Oda. Yeah, spy mission activated loudly crying face. Right on cue, Oda grabs Tanaka. Bro is asleep standing skull. He collapses, and Oda just lifts him. Piggyback like it's a daily routine loudly crying face. Shiraishi sees this, and her soul leaves her body skull because that level of closeness? Illegal in her brain loudly crying face. She briefly thinks, maybe I should train, so I can carry him too. Then realizes, he wouldn't even let me touch him. Skull reality check loudly crying face. So she decides, okay, step 1 equals become friends. Problem? She has zero experience making friends skull. After thinking hard, her master plan is, accidentally bump into him. Yeah, anime logic loudly crying face. While she's waiting, Oda spots her. Hey! She gets jump scared skull. She uses the chance. Does Tanaka have a girlfriend? Oda, no. Instant relief. Does he like someone? Oda, yeah, me. Bro skull. Then he clarifies. He thinks love is troublesome. Yeah, consistent character loudly crying face. Shiraishi thanks him, and goes to find Tanaka. Meanwhile Oda is like, she's gonna lecture him. Bro misread everything skull. She reaches class, and sees Imo talking to Tanaka like they're besties. Shiraishi, since when? Imo notices her staring. Shiraishi panics, and runs away loudly crying face. Imo chases her, grabs her hand, drags her back skull. No consent. Just plot progression. Then Imo loudly announces, I found another person who wants to be Tanaka's apprentice. Bro what loudly crying face. Tanaka and Shiraishi both freeze skull. Imo explains, she was staring at you with passion. She admires your laziness. Yeah, completely wrong interpretation. She should become your senior apprentice. Bro created a whole system skull. Tanaka instantly shuts it down. She's not my apprentice. You're not even my apprentice. Imo gets emotionally deleted skull. Shiraishi gathers courage, and finally says, I don't want to be your student. Pause. I want to be your friend. Tanaka, I thought we already were. Bro just speedran friendship loudly crying face. All emotions unlocked skull. Imo suggests, let's exchange contact info. Shiraishi, yes. Tanaka, sure, but I'll reply only 10% of the time. Honest king skull. Later, Shiraishi checks her phone. Message from Imo, I'll support you from the shadows. Bro she turned into a side character loudly crying face. And just like that, we end with, a girl falling in love, a lazy guy who doesn't care, a best friend carrying everything, and an apprentice system that never existed skull. Meanwhile you, still single and not even this entertaining loudly crying face. So now, Shiraishi sees Imo's emotional intelligence. A few days later, Tanaka and Oda go back to the fast food place. Because once you find a place where no one bothers you, you never leave skull. Oda suddenly panics, I left my phone at school, and runs off. Tanaka, I will guard these chips with my life. I have fused with this seat. Bro thinks he's a boss monster loudly crying face. While he's sitting there, a middle school girl walks in. Looks for a seat, sees Tanaka spread across the sofa like melted ice cream skull. She panics internally, but says nothing. Loudly crying face. Suddenly, Reno appears. Hey! The girl instantly covers Reno's eyes like, don't look, doppelganger, skull bro not again. Loudly crying face. Reno gets annoyed. Why does everyone react like this? Oda trauma continues. Skull. The girl still hasn't realized. Tanaka equals Reno's brother. Loudly crying face. Meanwhile Tanaka is thinking, if Reno is here, does this count as home? Bro trying to move in. Skull. Reno introduces her. This is CIA, my classmate. And this is my brother. CIA greets him so quietly, her mouth barely moves. Loudly crying face. Reno becomes her translator. Skull. Reno explains, she's just extremely shy. Social anxiety max level. Loudly crying face. Reno is secretly happy because Oda isn't here to interfere, but CIA is panicking like, I should say something. Reno, no, he prefers silence. Yeah. Tanaka's love language equals nothing. Loudly crying face. CIA observes Tanaka, and says, he's pale, thin, handsome, like a prince. Bro got prince title for doing nothing. Skull. She compares him to her brother, a gorilla. Tanaka, good. Protection. Loudly crying face. Reno adds, even if he's weak, I'll rely on him. That's low-key wholesome. Skull. CIA thinks Tanaka looks bored, but actually, he's happy because he got his mini vacuum cleaner. Bro found true love. Skull. Reno goes to order drinks, leaving Tanaka and CIA alone. Silence. Awkward. Painful. Loudly crying face. Tanaka breaks it with, how gorilla is your brother? 1 to 5. Best conversation starter. CIA, 3, average gorilla. Loudly crying face. Then suddenly, Tanaka gets serious. He admits, being lazy makes me feel guilty. If my sister needed help, I couldn't protect her. Damn, unexpected depth. Skull. CIA gently says, Reno talks about you a lot, and she sounds happy and proud. Tanaka instantly relaxes. Nice. I can stay lazy peacefully. Bro took wholesome moment and returned to default. Skull. Oda comes back, and plot twist, he's CIA's brother. Skull. Tanaka, level 3 gorilla. Confirmed. Loudly crying face. Reno sees Oda, instantly annoyed. Skull. Okay, time to leave. Party over. Loudly crying face. On the way home, CIA is smiling. She's happy, because both brothers are friends, and everything feels connected. Later that night, Reno is lying awake, thinking about Oda, about CIA, and suddenly realizes something terrifying. Her best friend is also her rival. Skull. And just like that, the chaos continues. Loudly crying face. We end with, a lazy guy accidentally being loved, a sister who cares too much, a best friend carrying everything, and multiple girls slowly entering competition. Skull. Meanwhile you, still watching instead of becoming the main character. Loudly crying face.